original electronic computers built in the 1960s were exceedingly large and bulky. They produced a lot of heat and used extreme amounts of energy. In 1968, in San Francisco, California, Gordon Moore and Robert Noyce, former employees of Fairchild Semiconductor, founded Intel. They built the first commercial microprocessor. Their innovative solutions changed how computers were designed and how they function today. The earliest computers used magnetic storage by means of reel-to-reel tape and vacuum tubes for processing data. The computers could take up whole rooms of space, and they only had the power of a modern calculator. This processing power was expensive and was only available to a few government labs, military bases, large corporations, and research universities. At this time, Robert Noyce worked for Shockley Semiconductor Laboratory. It was here that he met and worked with Gordon Moore. Only a year later, both men left Shockley because of the frustration over the poor management of the company. In 1957, Noyce and Moore co-founded Fairchild Semiconductor Corporation. While there, they helped to develop the integrated circuit. This innovation enabled the miniaturization of electronic circuitry onto one single silicon chip. In 1968, Moore and Noyce left Fairchild and started their own business. They first thought to name their new company MN Electronics, standing for More Noise Electronics, but it sounded like more noise, so they named it NM Electronics. Soon they wanted a name that more precisely expressed the vision of their business. They came up with a new name and logo, Intel. Noyce incorporated a relaxed business culture in this new business. He treated employees as family, and teamwork was encouraged and rewarded. This is still practiced at Intel today. Later, Andy Grove became the third employee of Intel. Intel was the first to use the integrated, which was a wafer of silicon containing resistors, transistors, and was small enough to hold in your hand. At that time, this new technology cost 100 times more than the current magnetic core memory. Their first commercial chip, the 3101, was the first commercial use central processing unit, also known as the CPU. They felt the smaller size, greater performance, speed, and energy efficiency of this technology would soon replace magnetic cores. Intel designed the 3101 Schottky bipolar memory, which had a high-speed random access memory, or known as RAM. The next year, Intel introduced a 1 kilobyte dynamic RAM, which was the first chip that was large enough to store large amounts of information. Busicom, a Japanese manufacturer, hired Intel to design a set of chips for their new high-performance calculators. It was a standard at that time to have several chips to run all the different functions of the calculator. Intel engineer Ted Hoff rejected that idea and designed a plan for a CPU on one single chip that would run all the required functions. This revolutionary design was found to be usable to many other applications without redesigning the whole chip. On Hoff's urging, Intel offered to return Busicom's investment in exchange for the rights to keep the chip technology. In 1971, Intel introduced the 4004 microprocessor, which was revolutionary as there were no programmable microprocessors on the market at that time. It was the size of a thumbnail and packed 23,000 transistors inside the silicon wafer. The $200 chip delivered as much computing power as the 1946 ENIAC computer, which used 18,000 vacuum tubes and took up 3,000 cubic feet of space. The 8008 could process 8 bits of data, which was 2 times more data as the 4004. In 1974, the 8080 made computing more affordable. For $360, Intel sold a whole computer on one chip, while conventional computers sold for thousands of dollars. The response was overwhelming, and sparked lots of creativity and innovation. These chips could be used for digital scales in grocery stores. Traffic lights were able to control traffic more efficiently by detecting cars. It could be used in medical instruments, fast food restaurants, gas pumps, and airline reservation systems. Intel's business strategy has always encouraged input and design ideas from all its employees on every level. In the mid-1970s, someone approached Gordon Moore with the idea of outfitting the 8080 chip with a keyboard and a monitor to be sold to the home market. Moore asked, "What's it good for?" And the only good answer was, a housewife could keep her recipes on it. At that time, they didn't see anything useful in the idea, and they never gave it another thought at that time. 1981 would be the year IBM would choose to use Intel's 8088 chips to create the first personal computer, known as the PC as today. No one comprehended that the PC business would grow to tens of millions of units every year. Albert Yu, former senior vice president of Intel, stated, "What is different is that we plan on obsoleting our own product line generation after generation with almost doubling performance each year." In 1982, the 286 chip was introduced with 134,000 transistors. 3 years later, the i386, 275,000 transistors was also introduced. It could calculate up to 5 million instructions in 1 second. Next, in 1989 was the i486 chip, which boasted 1,200,000 transistors, and it had the first built-in math processor. The 1990s brought the Pentium processor and the Pentium Pro in 1995 with 5.5 million transistors and a high-speed cache to improve speed processing, 300 million calculations in 1 second. Intel also expanded beyond the microprocessor business. Several acquisitions propelled them into wireless communication products such as mobile phones, networking hubs, routers, and chips for laser printers, storage media, and automotive systems. Advertising promos Intel Inside Intel's innovative marketing idea to broaden the awareness of the PC. When Intel's Bunny People characters danced their way across the TV screen during a break of the 1997 Super Bowl, they became icons of the PC industry. The Bunny People were the ones who had to wear protective suits to prevent dust, hair, sweat, or anything else from getting inside the chamber that created the silicon wafers, and if they did get in the CPU, it could potentially ruin the whole thing. The Pentium 2 CPU had 7,200,000 transistors. In 1998, the Intel Celeron was created primarily for servers and workstations only. In 1997, the Xenon 2 was built for mid to high range servers and workstations as well. The cache was up to 1 megabyte and the clocking speed at 400 megahertz. Today, that is really slow and no one uses that kind of speed anymore. A child using the Pentium processor PC has more computing power than the mainframe operators had a decade ago. In early 2000, the Pentium 3 chip was Intel's first 64-bit microprocessor. The Itanium premiered, which had been designed to meet the needs of powerful internet servers. Look around the world at most any modern-day electronic device. That device was made possible because of Intel's innovative microchip technology. Communication is now faster, the data processing is now much quicker, and many time-saving devices have become easily available. With their innovations, Intel has made the computer personal, compact, portable, affordable, energy efficient, and available for anyone to use. In 1965, Gordon Moore made a prediction about the semiconductor industry that has become the stuff of legend, known as Moore's Law. This quote from Intel's 35-year anniversary brochure states their purpose well. Innovation from the start. We've been asking what's next since the very beginning, looking for a better way, developing a new approach, because at Intel our pursuit of innovation never ends.